what I'm saying? Sometimes people get to a point in their life where, let it be drugs, let it be vices or whatever it is, where not necessarily that you're too far gone, but you going out of your way to help them isn't gonna not obviously it's not helping you, but it's definitely not helping them. It's kind of like
it's like I'm enabling him. I'm telling him like he's in his mind like no matter how fucked up I am, ain't God gonna help me. Like nah, bro.
if you give somebody under Kensington money, most people, and I'm not saying all of them are on drugs. If I give them $5, what are they gonna go use it for? Are they gonna go buy food with it? Probably. The chances are very low. They're gonna go buy drugs with it, right? Are you helping that person by giving them money? If they're gonna go buy drugs, no, you're enabling their fucking situation. There's this thing called ibogaine, right? It's a drug that you take. It's a hallucinogenic, so it's like psychoactive.
Mushroom.
It's like mushrooms, but it's stronger, okay? And what it does is it kills ego and other things, right? Including addiction. It's been proven that like the first use, 80% of drug addicts or alcoholics or whatever your vice is, cigarette smoking, 80% of people no longer want to do it, okay? Ibogaine itself is not an experience that you want to continue to experience. And when you come out of the experience, which can last hours, you no longer want to do those things. Like your brain's basically on a reset. This is proven stuff. Like you can look up studies on this shit, right?
Yeah, they do that with mushroom juice.
But we know that this works. It's proven. And if you really don't trust it that much, start studies. Start testing shit.
The thing is, the U.S. make money because the U.S. make medicine. Like instead of giving you a drug, right, for dope fiends, instead of finding a drug that just like blocks the receptors in your brain from wanting to not do dope, they just make a drug called methadone, and it's a liquid that they drink. And what it does is it blocks the effects of the heroin. So you could go do dope all you want, or needle, and you're not gonna get high.
But yeah, people's perspectives on things aren't open-minded. That goes back into what we were talking about before, like being able to have conversations with people that are open-minded and don't get upset about things.
I had to deal with it, man. My one uncle got like 6 gay sons. 6. No, 5.
Damn.
Well, he used to smoke crack.
Oh, damn. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
it's fucked up, but it's true. It's fucked up.
Do you think that sexuality, someone's sexual orientation, gay, straight, bisexual, whatever they classify themselves as, not identity, which would be like trans, but sexuality, what they're attracted to, do you think that's hereditary based off of like genes? Addition of mom's genes, an addition of dad's genes, depending on the level of genes of homosexuality trait, we'll call it. Is there a chance that your child becomes gay? Because if that was the case, your uncle's fucking dishing shit out like crazy. He's hitting 7s every time.
So look, my one uncle has 8 boys, right? 3 are straight, right? And then my other uncle has 3 boys. 1 is straight.
Okay, that goes back into my original question though.
But
do you feel like it's hereditary, like a gene thing?
I don't know, because that uncle was a crazy coke fiend.
Okay.
So I feel like the drugs is what made
all your cousins gay. Crack made all your cousins
everybody
gay. Crack cocaine.
I feel like everybody, because like, you know what I mean? There's a lot now from when I was growing up.
Or it just might be a little bit more acceptable than it was when we were growing up.
It is, because there were a lot of undercover brothers.
Yeah, and there always still is today. What if you believe in you know about Buddhists believing how you're reincarnated and everything like that? I feel as though you might carry with you memories and traits from your previous past lives, okay? And let's say that your past lives, you were a female, right? Even this last 2, maybe it's your 3rd life, your 3rd reincarnation, right? And now you're a dude. You're in a guy's body, so you're going to experience life as a guy, okay? And maybe it doesn't feel uncomfortable at all, but there's certain traits about you. You're not as aggressive as most dudes, okay? You're not as, I don't know, other traits that really manly men have.
Make you a man.
And
yeah.
this also goes
that's
into the trans theory too, because it would explain, at the same time, what I'm trying to explain would explain gay, and it would explain trans at the same time, okay? Because I'm not saying that trans isn't a thing. There's definitely people in the world that feel like they're born in the wrong body.
Yeah.
And it feels icky to them probably. Like there's something inside of them that's like, yo, I cannot scratch the feeling. I'm not this, okay?
There's 3 in my family.
Okay.
3 of them.
If you just reincarnate souls, that means that you've always existed throughout human existence. You lived in ancient Egypt. You lived at that time. You lived in fucking the Civil War.
The only problem I have with that theory is that the amount of people there is now it wouldn't match that theory, because if we lived back then, there weren't this many people back then.
There's always been large extinctions of people. We have
Yeah.
supposedly Genghis Khan wiped out 1/3 of human population. Okay, now granted, how big was human population at the time?
Yeah, that's what I'm
in comparison to how many people he wiped out for that number. But who's to say plagues? Like there's so many things that have hit human society. People die of natural causes. People die of murder. There's so many factors that go into death, right?
Yeah.
To track how many people are living and dying is kind of hard, okay? So even the number of like how many people are alive on Earth, we really don't really know, okay? There's people that are born with no birth certificates. There's people that are born for whatever fucking purposes.
People that are in the jungle being born.
Not even that. There's kids being born. There's okay? That's being pulled up now with all these Epstein file shits. People have babies for purposes, will literally have babies get impregnated, and when the baby's born, they don't have it in a hospital. They have it privately. There's no birth certificate, so the baby doesn't exist, okay? To the government, to anybody. And then what you do with said baby, you can technically prove that baby existed. Someone just has to find that body of that baby, but then they also have to identify said baby.
And there's no way to identify.
There's no way to identify that child. And if you think that that's not a real fucking thing, you're fucking blind. Souls clearly exist, okay? The person that you are, the consciousness that you are, is your soul, okay? The body that we have, supposedly, is just like a car. Not in a literal sense. You're just driving this motherfucker.
This is funny when I'm topic, right? Do you think souls are sperm?
Sperm?
Yeah, like your sperm, your sack just has a bunch of
So fucking, like there's just a big ass fucking jar of ghosts hanging off the bottom of your dick. Just all fucking floating around on the inside of you.
And then like
I would hope.
And then listen though, but like think about it, right? And then it's like they don't know they're in there. They don't know what's going on right
Bro,
now.
that would
They're
be
just like
that would be so bad.
it's like a black. That's
That would
the
be
black.
so-
That's a black hole.
That would be
Alright.
so bad because how many nuts have gone down the drain
Oh,
in your life?
that means you're going back down the drain, baby.
How many nuts have gone in a paper towel on a bitch
But, like,
back? Like,
That's probably hell.
bro.
And when you get to heaven, oh, what's the best feeling on earth? That gushy, right? You get me? It makes
Alright.
sense.
Now I'm not saying you're wrong.
So,
and it's
so the white light, right? Just not to cut you off. The white light, right? When you die, I mean, you see the white light. How about like when you die, you're just like a nut somewhere. That is, you're that little couple seconds that you're dead. You're a fucking sperm swimming again, and you find the egg. And what happens when the sperm finds the egg? The white light.
okay. The
Right?
atomic explosion.
Yeah,
Right,
so
right.
I feel like they coincide. As soon as you die and you find that white light, it's another body, because I heard something about when you die, you're not supposed to go towards the white light because that's when you reincarnate again.
Uh-huh.
If you want to go to heaven, you stay away from the white light because the white light is just going to get you right back to reincarnation.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember your first memory?
My first memory from when I was little. Kind of hard to think about right about now, but
Were you just born?
no.
Why can't you remember that? Why can't you remember being in the womb if you're conscious this whole
I feel
time?
like that's what that movie Baby Genius is. I feel like babies can talk to each other. Like I feel like, and like they're limited, like physically, so they can't really do like. It's like when you wake up out of a coma. Like we just had a coworker that had pneumonia and they had to put him in a coma.
Okay. That must be a crazy ass
Yeah,
experience being in a coma.
so he has to learn how to walk and talk again. But I feel like said you die, you see the white light, you go towards the white light, and then you're reincarnated because the white light happens as soon as you get that bang, right? That little infusion. From there, you don't remember being born. What happens when you are born? When you come out of the womb, what do you see? A white light. Because what do they have? That bright ass white light.
But that was happening. The experience of the white light happened before there was medical science like we have today.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about like when you come out the pussy.
But
like,
there's people that are born at night.
Because when you're inside, that's true.
You're only designed. Your brain only functions to keep you alive. So the sounds that you make, you cry when you need certain things. Food. Got to go use the bathroom because typically mom, in any of the species, mom helps use the bathroom. Okay. So you need certain things. You need mom for certain things. Mom. Brain already tuned to respond to these sounds. For example, babies can cry and it makes women's nipples fucking just produce breast milk. Okay. Not everyone, but some women. Okay. Why does that happen?
Mother instinct.
It's a weird situation, but clearly there's something going on up here. The baby's doing something too. Okay. Granted, does that mean that the baby's conscious? Maybe. But in this theory, let's say not. Typically, once the baby starts to gain certain functions, like being able to move on its own, fend for itself in certain ways, that's when they have consciousness. They're trying to learn how to move their body. When that moment kicks in, let it be during the daytime, nighttime, that's when that light that they see, you transfer in, and then you just appear in this body. And that's when your first memories start kicking in, because you can't remember anything before that. And let you be in dream mode, let you be awake in the physical, like literally you're at the park, your mom took you to the park or something like that.
Alright, so this is what I think about that one is, we can't remember anything about that, but I'm sure we remembered everything. Like you said, our instinct is to survive. And to survive, we needed those certain instincts, right? And we had to remember nothing but those instincts. Cry, cry, cry. You know what I mean? And I feel like, because I was talking full perfect sentences by the age of 2.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then
some people are more advanced. They
inhabit
inhabit a body
that talk
at really different times.
One, like crazy. Like, I really feel like when how a crab molts.
You fucking with it?
Its shell. No, it molts its shell, and then they come out, and their new shell is weak and they're fragile and shit. Like, that's why I feel like once your soul leaves and you die, and you go through that portal and you see that white light again, you're thrown into this new body, and you're fucked up. Like, you're like, oh shit, like this new body is the first time it's ever moved, and it's the first time. So like, you're literally learning that all over again. And I feel like your memory is more focused on, how did I do this again? How did I do that again? And how did I crawl? And how did I get milk? Oh, I cried. You know what I mean? Oh, I need a diaper change. Oh, I'm crying. Oh, I'm cold.
Oh, you feel like the actions of babies are based off of memory.
Yeah.
Inherent memory.
Exactly.
Based off of your consciousness.
Yeah, because, instantly they come out crying like, what the fuck is this? I'm cold. You just went from being internal, super warm, out into this cold ass hospital. You know what I mean? Or wherever you're at, unless you're born in the water, which is a different topic, you know what I mean? But like, most of the time you're coming out into colder air. So you're naturally gonna fucking cry. You're butt ass fucking naked. Like, what
And you
the
just squeeze through this
fuck?
tight ass fucking hole. You're probably in
Yup,
pain.
you just got fucking smushed, compacted damn near. You know what I mean? So
Your head's trying to reshape itself.
you're
Probably got the
you
worst
just
migraine.
went through some crazy trauma
Mm-hmm.
instantly. As soon as you're born, you just went through some trauma.
Then they cut you. They literally cut
Like
your umbilical cord. You
you
separate
never had to breathe ever in your 10 months of being made. You never had to breathe. And now you come out gasping for air, choking on the fluid that kept you warm. Like, you're going through crazy
Fed you.
trauma. And you're just trying to learn to be a person at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're too worried about, because there are kids who do remember who they were in a past life.
But that also falls into the, just the consciousness, regardless of like when it pops in or if you're born with it or anything like that. Like that falls back into like the memory of.
And that comes in after they're already a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're a natural person, and then it's like one day I wake up and I'm like, I used to be this person.
These things just start coming the fuck
and
back.
I used to be a pianist in the 20s, and you're like, what? And then I go start playing the piano.
Yo,
like,
you ever saw
like
those videos of the kids that claim they died in past lives?
Yeah.
Right? And then they can tell you where they died, how they died.
And you look it up,
Some of them
and it's
who
true.
killed them.
Yeah, and it's
Yo,
true.
There's so many wild things out there in this fucking world. Like, no one really knows. And for someone to sit there, like we were talking about with the whole political thing, like picking a side, like for you to put all your money on one thing is just wild to me. Like, regardless of what it is. And to think that there's nothing out there is just as more wild to me. Like,
My family's super churchy, but no.
there's no answers. We don't really know.
I believe in God. I don't believe in any religion. Any religion. You know what I mean? The closest thing to the truth is probably, the Bible, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because even the Quran talks about Jesus.
He was already written about.
I just don't understand why the Jewish Bible,
The Torah.
it says. So I don't really agree with any of that.
I mean, I haven't read it personally to know if that's actually in there, because I've seen a lot of that stuff online. Yeah. But to actually have the physical Torah in my hands that these motherfuckers is studying and shit like that, I need to see it in my hands to really know.
I mean,
but from what I've seen, I've seen appalling things. Some shit that is literally like, what?
Like, how is that holy in any way, shape, or form?
But there's also, again, I haven't read the Quran either. But the things that they'll show you, or at least that my algorithm shows me online, will say that in the Quran it says the same thing.
The Quran, it does. It says.
There's also parts in the Bible.
Have. Their main guy.
That's a very controversial topic that I don't really want to get into. Yeah.
So it's like, whoa.
Again, I haven't read it personally to know if that's even really in there. And I would want to read it myself of a real, not a modern day Quran. Like, I want to read the oldest rendition possible myself and be like, oh, okay. Or if it's not in there, not based off of someone's interpretation of what it really meant. Like, I can read with my own two eyes and make my own interpretations of something based off my own beliefs. But there's also things like that in the Bible too. Like like when people be like, oh, that's in the anything, the Jewish religion, the Islamic religion, it's also in Christianity and Catholic religion. Like, there's early parts of the Bible, which are based off the Hebrew portions, where God instructs specific people to basically commit genocide. All religions have it, and I'm not justifying or anything like that, but I've read the Bible. I know for sure that's in there. Yeah. So when I hear these things, I'm like, okay, but you can't sit there and I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but when people be like, oh, the Bible would never. Yes, it does.
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't really read it, so I'm not.
Yeah, that's definitely in the Bible.
I'm not in religion. Like I said, I believe in the God. I pray to God. I don't pray to Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Nothing against him, but I pray to God. Because Jesus told us to pray to God.
The Bible wasn't written by Jesus.
No, I know.
In relation to Jesus dying on the cross.
Wasn't it like a couple years after?
A couple 100 years after.
Yeah, like 500.
So no one that lived with Jesus
wrote about it.
Right. Not even his disciples. And all the passages are based off of his
testimony.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew, Luke, John, blah, 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 right? They're not even written by those men, okay, technically. They're written by or influenced by later men. We all know, okay, that within the Catholic and Christian groups, there's okay?
Definitely.
And they cover it up like crazy, okay? How's that any more morally justified than what the fuck? And I'm not saying any of this is okay, but like to be like, oh, Christianity and Catholic would never, like, what are you talking about? You're lying to yourself. You're pointing a finger to hide your own.
Just because they brainwash you don't mean nothing, because the motherfuckers that are brainwashing you are the guys that are doing that shit to your kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't do that Sunday school shit. No, my kid need to be next to me while we praise God together. The
Influential
conspiracy
positions.
is that all the presidents are related.
And that could be true. You never know.
That's the conspiracy.
They're all related. If you look at certain theories about just bloodlines being kept over the generations and literally for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years, like, and then over time, how those bloodlines could just branch out. Like, you can just pick from a large crop of genetic stock of bloodline and be like, okay, like the Rothschilds, right? This mysterious family. Originally, there was the one important Rothschild. I don't really know his name, but then he had some sons. And then they had some sons and some daughters. And then the Rothschild name with their wealth becomes a thing. And then when you want to influence something, oh, we have a Rothschild in banking. We have a Rothschild in politics. We have a Rothschild here. We have a Rothschild there.
And they all line up.
And if something falls through, we can always just pick a Rothschild. And we can also have off branches of our family too, where they hold our bloodline, but they don't share our last name. But it's a branch of last name that only they carry if they're from our bloodline. And we also arrange marriage, and we make sure that you keep the bloodlines. And we've seen that shit throughout history.
That's the shit that they were up to back in the day.
Yeah, we don't really know what's going on in this world. There's a bunch of lies out there. Our history books are written by Ghislaine Maxwell's father, supposedly. Mm-hmm. Everything you learn in school, literally, like, thinking back at it, the books definitely said Maxwell in them. Like the history books, I don't know about the mathematics and shit like that. Like,
so we had just one motherfucker teaching us.
Listen, hear me out. I would assume if you wanted to control.
Is the world really flat?
Who knows? I don't think the world's flat, personally. We live in a world where all the conspiracies are finally coming true. Flat Earth is not the one coming true. So all the flat earthers can suck a dick, honestly.
Yeah, because we never went to the moon.
I think personally, and I'm not saying you're wrong, because I don't know anything, you know. Personally, I think what they showed us was fake. Do I think that humanity has been to the moon before? Yes.
Do you think they didn't like what they saw up there?
I think we went there. Like, our government has went there. United States has went there. And we haven't been back since because we're not allowed to go back. And not necessarily because our government doesn't want us to, because we were told we're not allowed to go back.
I had a theory, you know what I mean? We wasn't no goddamn fish, but I feel like, do you think an alien came, fucked a monkey, and left?
Like, actually, like, put its penis inside of a female monkey or let a male monkey fuck it? No.
I mean, you never know.
We know that I can take a woman's egg and a man's sperm without it being in either one of them.
Yeah, but do you think they were inseminating when we were first human? Because supposedly Adam popped out of nowhere. Just Adam.
Let's say that an alien species, race, comes down, sees hominids, the species that we're related to in the fossil records, okay, and was like, all right, let's crossbreed these things, okay? Because thought is thought, right? What if Adam and the Garden of Eden was never a garden to begin with and was a laboratory, okay? So Adam was made. He was born through insemination of an egg from one species and the essence, aka the sperm, of another. Boom.
Yeah,
right?
An alien and a chimp.
Adam's created, okay? And in the Bible, after Adam names all the animals, he takes Adam's rib and creates Eve, right? Eve gets her hands on, in the Bible, what is called the fruit of knowledge. They don't specify if it's an apple or anything like that. The apple came somewhere else, okay? she's able to realize she's naked. Okay, like, oh, I shouldn't be naked. All right. Then she's like, oh, Adam needs to have this same thing. Adam, eat this apple, or whatever fruit it was. Boom. God kicks them out of the Garden of Eden. The experiments have done something that they shouldn't have done. Okay, the rats got a hold of the steroids. They got a hold of the fucking whatever it is. Okay, my experiments aren't doing what they need to do. They're defying my things.
We basically got consciousness.
No, I wouldn't say consciousness. Maybe we got free will. God kicks them out of the laboratory. Okay, you can never come back here. There's enough out there for you to deal with what you got to deal with, but you can never come back here, and you're blocked from ever getting to the tree of knowledge or the tree of life. And then later, Adam and Eve have Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel supposedly have wives. Where these mystery bitches come from? If it's just Adam and Eve, and then Adam and Eve have Cain and Abel, but then Cain and Abel have wives, where these mystery bitches come from?
I say the aliens came down, had a crazy orgy with all the monkeys and left.
God damn. Ooh.
What else explains it, bro? We look like elongated monkeys.
Is that why Diddy was doing what he was doing?
Yeah,
it's just
he's crazy.
in us to just have
he was
orgies.
he was a crazy alien.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
You was about to say something you shouldn't.
I'm being thoughtful. Okay?
Oh my God, you did good.
I got you. We're the only thing on this planet with any type of consciousness. Whereas, like, we're gonna build a fucking city. What if it was backwards and we were fucking animals in the jungle and the monkeys had a fucking city driving around in bananas and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like Planet of the Apes, but like for real, like in real life. Like, what if it was like that, where the fucking horses was fucking running around frolicking and shit, and they had a whole utopia, and we were the fucking rodents to them? Like,
do you feel like intelligence is evolutionary based?
I feel like every child that is born, it is born with the knowledge in his genes of his mom and his dad.
I mean, species-wise, for example.
I don't know.
There's species that are extinct, and then they, for example, the dinosaurs. Yeah. The dinosaurs were around for hundreds of millions of years, supposedly, right?
Exactly, but they were supposedly here before us, right?
100%, at least from what they tell us.
So how? If we were the start of the world, supposedly, how?
Yeah, the whole dinosaur aspect is
Adam named everything. He missed fucking T-Rex, Velociraptor.
Which are all names that we fucking came up with modern day.
That humans came up with. Like, he missed them.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't believe that. That's what I'm saying. I feel like those were all tests. I feel like aliens came down here. They saw a big-ass Komodo dragon or a turtle, and they saw the turtle be like, ah, ah. And they were like, do me. And she was like,
oh my God.
And they made fucking dinosaurs, and the experiment fucking sucked because T-Rex came out like this.
Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was all waves of experiments till they fucked the monkey. They unlocked everything once they fucked that monkey.
Do you think that the aliens that came down and had this big ass orgy with all the monkeys, did they do the same thing with the dinosaurs?
They did it with the turtle.
And they was doing it for millions of years.
The turtles and the alligators.
That's why the turtles.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And the turtle souls, they still have all that fucking memory. That's why when they breathe, they still have all the orgy memories. Oh my God!
That's it, man. You catch
so turtles are actually the ones that were supposed to be.
Turtles and alligators.
Got you.
You know
why alligators?
Because they made like T-Rexes and the other ones. You know what I mean?
But supposedly alligators were around at the same time.
I know.
Supposedly.
But those were like the baby cousins.
They were bigger.
That's what I'm saying. These are the baby cousins.
Just like there's monkeys, and we're supposedly related to these monkeys.
Right.
On that note, we're gonna end this, John.
We do another one whenever, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate you for coming on. Definitely.
You already, man.
Fat, we gotta get you on with just me and you.
Yeah.
And pick
Next time, you can have the conversation with him.
We're gonna talk about all the 6'7" shit out there in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta give your
you gotta tell me about all the little dances.
Input.
Clearly, I can't do them.
In